Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream today. So we have some pretty big stuff to cover this morning. Obviously, there's some pretty big events coming up this week. Some pretty big earnings too. But the main thing to look at this morning is that S&P 500. The SPY. It really fell off Friday all the way down to 380 at the low there and started ripping right back to the upside around market close. And then so far this morning, we're actually holding up pretty well. So I'll take it out of the market here. It's definitely better than, falling off last night with futures and everything. So I'll definitely take it. Good morning, Hunter, George, Lewis, Jamie. Thank you guys so much for joining up. Peter, Vicky even. Peter says JWN puts is the only thing I'm targeting. Someone on Friday bought $750K worth of them. The 26 and $22.50 puts for this week's expiration. So let's see. JWN. Let's see this. Yeah, JWN. Let's see, 26 and 22.50 puts. Yeah, I mean, those are pretty far in the money here, Peter. It does look like JWN is kind of falling off here with some of these retail companies, so I could definitely see them continuing a little bit lower. It is interesting. That is kind of like an earnings play there, so I am a little bit curious in that one, Peter, but we'll have to see how JWN ends up going. I think that's a pretty decent play, to be honest, as long as you see the stock continue down. Just keep in mind, sometimes it's hard to tell if that big money's buying or selling, but hopefully they are definitely buying those up. I would definitely think they are, given the $26 strike. That's pretty far in the money there, Peter, but yeah, that's very interesting today. But yeah, so far, good morning. Thank you guys so much for joining up. Yeah, good luck to you too, Lewis, but yeah, right now the SPY is slowly but surely just trickling right back to the downside, and I do have some stocks pretty far in the negative on my watch list here. So moving over to stocks like XPEV, like they are down big this morning with earnings, of course. We have NEO following them down, which is a little bit unfortunate. NEO really took a crash here at market open, and Friday NEO was actually looking pretty decent. So to see them pull back like this is just not a good sign. I feel like that this is not a good way to start the week with these China stocks. It definitely is not it's definitely not good green movement, that's for sure. Like, even if we go check out like Baba or Baidu or some of the larger Chinese stocks, even they're like starting to pull back down here. So yeah, definitely not good movement out of the China plays so far today. I'm even noticing Nvidia is in the red by quite a bit. Looks like AMD is still red, but they are trying to pop back up a little bit, but still they're in the red by a decent amount. It looks like Tesla is starting to fall back off. AMC is slowly trading back down. So yeah, so far it's not been too hyped up of a morning. I will say there's some stocks moving up, like the airlines, which is good, like UAL, DAL, and stocks like that. But other than that, we're not really seeing too much crazy movement here. If you guys are seeing any stocks that are really running today, definitely let me know. But so far, the only things I'm really seeing are some of these airlines. We have United running, Delta's running. Looks like American is also running up here. So, hey, great to see these stocks running up at market open. I wonder if there's any news associated with these airlines, because I'm trying to find some here, like in the Thinkorswim news tab, but I'm not seeing anything with them. So maybe it's just normal price action. Yeah, it could just be normal price action, but either way, it's cool to see them running up like this. I did also see that the banks were on fire today, guys. I don't know if you guys saw the big headline or not, but look at JP Morgan. They're actually starting to pop a little bit back above this trend line here that they've been, JP Morgan has been bouncing off this trend line a little bit over the past few months, to say the least. But as we can see here, it's starting to finally break out a little bit. I know we did have some slight breakouts in the past, so definitely keep that in mind. It doesn't always play right on this trend line, but who knows, maybe if we start to see a nice move back up above this, maybe we'll start to see the bank stocks start to recover. And what makes me really happy, guys, with these bank stocks is if we go to CNBC here this morning, JP Morgan expects to reach 17% returns sooner than planned, and apparently they're attributing this to rates going up, of course. And as we know, a lot of banks had been kind of falling off over the past year, just like JP Morgan. Ever since the beginning of this year, these banks have been slowly but surely moving to the downside, and I think that's because they were waiting for the Fed to raise rates, but the Fed just was not doing it. So now that the Fed's starting to raise rates, JP Morgan expects to hit 17% returns. I don't know exactly why they're looking at 17%, but I will say that that's their target right now, and they say that it can be achieved in 2022. And they did say that, there was going to be a lot of issues coming up this year that would be terrible. So he did say, though, Jamie Dimon, which is their CEO, of course, said there's a very good chance that this year they'll hit that 17% target, which is great. So hopefully they do. And, this should be pretty big for some of these bank stocks, guys. Like, I know that Jamie Dimon is always out here trying to, manipulate things, and he's definitely done some manipulation in the past, but still, I mean, he's a pretty big influential figure, and, he's been pretty good with the economy in the past, so I'll give him a pass, for hitting on some stocks there over the past few months, but I will say he's a pretty big figure, and hopefully JP Morgan starts to pop up with this news. I mean, they are really low, guys. I mean, you could pick up JP Morgan shares right now at 121, and they were at 170 just like, at the beginning of the year, so like 5 or 6 months ago. So that's pretty big, though. Like if they start popping back up, let's say that they don't even get back to 170. Let's just say, safely like 150 or something like that. Like that's still a really nice like 24% uptrend there, or a nice 24% increase. So that's pretty good, actually, guys. It's not bad. Yeah, let's see. Bill says X, Bank of America. J Deep says JP Morgan. So yeah, awesome with that. Mike says, great video the other day with Mike and Hunter. As you are waiting for these stocks to pull back, are you selling puts or shorting them? Yeah, definitely, Mike. That's a big deal. Whenever stocks are going down like this, I am 100% selling puts on the way down and averaging into shares as I get assigned on the puts, or just I might get shares then and start selling some covered calls and stuff like that. I own a lot of shares of different companies, and I definitely like to do that, Mike. That is a big deal in the stock market, is selling cash secured puts and then getting covered calls. It's definitely amazing. Let's see. Peter says the banks are up because the dollar is down slightly. Yeah, let's go see that. $ DXY there. Yeah, it is actually down slightly. That is interesting, Peter. It's cool to see that kind of playing out like that. I bet gold is up too. Yeah, gold's up too. I know gold usually goes up when the dollar goes down too. So that is that's very interesting there, Peter. I can't believe that we're seeing the dollar fall off again like that. But I will say the dollar on a max daily chart has gotten pretty overextended. I honestly would not be surprised if the dollar started falling down towards 100 or even 98 over the next couple months. I could definitely see that happening in the price action, possibly even lower to the downside, in my opinion. But, I'll be safe and say 100 or 98, even though I think it could possibly, touch even like 96 or something. But, yeah, so hopefully the dollar keeps running the way it is, Peter. And maybe if it does keep going down, those banks will keep upticking. So I'll definitely take it. But yeah, Mike, that's definitely a big deal with selling cash secured puts and or selling, cash secured puts and then selling covered calls on those positions once you get assigned. It's an awesome strategy implementing the wheel. And yeah, they go over some great stocks, Mike and Hunter do, with their valuations and everything like that. And they show that how some of these stocks are still insanely overvalued, even though they've been going down. And the thing is like they've been overvalued and they just keep going up and up and up. But at some point, those valuations give, and whenever the stock market becomes shaky and they start falling, it just causes even more downwards movement in the shorter term. So yeah, it's definitely crazy with the way these stocks are valued right now. I know it's brutal out there, guys, and I feel bad because a lot of people have been coming into the market over the past year or two because of GameStop, AMC, and stocks like that, and they've been buying all these stocks up at the highs, and it's never good to do that. Always just average in, just keep slowly acquiring your positions, and I think it'll be a smarter way to go. But J Deep says Pfizer, I didn't really check Pfizer out today. Let's check them out. Yeah, they're up 1.5%. Actually, on the daily chart, they actually look pretty hot here, guys. Pfizer's not bad at all this morning. It's starting to pop up in a pretty good way. We're getting some nice green candles coming in, and yeah, it's having some nice upwards movement. So that's great. But keep in mind, there has been an uptick in COVID cases over in China. I'm not sure if they're slowing down like as of this week or not, but I know that over the past like month, we have seen news about upticks over there with that. And now we're hearing stuff about this monkeypox virus. I don't know if you guys have been hearing about that at all, but man, the monkeypox virus seems pretty insane. I mean, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on the monkeypox, but personally, I mean, it seems like a pretty crazy thing. You know, it's kind of like smallpox, and I really hope that it doesn't, you know, affect the like come over into the United States too much. You know, if it really comes over here and starts spreading all over, man, these vaccine companies better get on it again, like Pfizer and BioNTech and you know, all of them. I know NVAX was another one. NVAX. Yeah, Novavax. I mean, you know, there's a whole bunch of vaccine stocks out there. Pfizer, Moderna. So hopefully, if we get the monkeypox, these companies can, you know, get something going for us really quickly here. Peter says JWN down 2.22%. Just entered my play with the $18 put. Nice. Let's go check that out. JWN. Yeah, it's really flying down today, Peter. I mean, it's nothing like it was on Friday, but you know, it is having some nice downwards movement here at market open. But yeah, JWN is definitely falling off here, and you know, it kind of looks like it could keep going. I will say there is a pretty big support here at $20, so hopefully we can break down below that, which I think we definitely can. You know, I think that's doable. So hopefully we see we see JWN play out for you, Peter. That would definitely make for a nice start to the week if that one plays out. J Deep says to check out Apple. Let's see. Yeah, Apple's actually coming back today. That's really nice to see. Yeah, I'm glad Apple's coming back. This is awesome. They're almost back up to 140, which is great. And you know, the market is honestly not looking terrible. Like the SPY's not looking bad. You know, it's holding up. It's not really going up or down all that much. Some stocks are definitely falling off, but you know, we're seeing Apple do well. Microsoft is hopefully up. Yeah, Microsoft's trying to get into the green, so that's definitely not bad today. I'll take the green movement out of Apple for sure. You know, we have the airlines moving up, banks are up, Apple's up, so hey, pretty good movement so far. Like, let's check out those airlines again. I know that's been looking really hot today. Oh wow, well I should say it was looking hot. Then they came flying right back down. They're still up 2% though, but they could be up quite a bit more if they were still up there at the high of day here. So that's pretty big. Let's see Boeing with those airlines moving. Maybe Boeing's moving. Yeah, it looks like Boeing's trying to move too. So maybe throw Boeing on the watch list, guys, if you guys are looking for some nice momentum plays later on. I know Boeing is getting extremely low down here, and I feel like at some point, you know, we're not going to go flying back up to straight up to 160 or nothing, but I feel like we could see some pretty big intraday moves, you know, possibly up to like 130 or something like that, you know, if the market stays green. But so far, the main movers are the bank stocks. I mean, they are still killing it. Bank of America's up 3.3%. We got good old JP Morgan also up 3.3%. And JP Morgan's starting to break back above that trend line that, you know, I've been kind of talking about here on the daily chart. It's starting to finally pop above it. Now, keep in mind, like I said, it has been small breaks of this trend line in the past, over the past few months, but you can see generally this trend line has been pretty solid for some reason over the past 6 months. It's been slowly selling down and touching this trend line on the way. So we'll have to see what happens, but we're breaking above it now. And, you know, with Jamie Dimon's nice comments regarding bank stocks, I think we could see a possible move back up. Peter says, the monkeypox is a very mild chicken pox. You get lesions, but they scab up and go away on their own after 3 weeks. Yeah, I know, Peter. Yeah, it's definitely like a version of chicken pox. I will say though, the pictures seem a lot worse. I mean, I don't know about you, but the pictures to me seem terrible. They look like, you know, pictures out of like literally like smallpox or something, Peter. It was terrible, the pictures I saw. Now, I know not every picture or every case is going to be as drastic as, you know, the pictures I saw, but still, that sucks, guys. And yeah, I hope that virus just doesn't come over here at all. I just would rather it stay over in Europe and over wherever it is. I know I saw a couple cases in Germany, and I think the UK might have had a couple too, so it's definitely starting to spread around a little bit, guys. So hopefully you all stay safe. And yeah, Peter, it did. It looked nasty. It was gross, but yeah. But so far, guys, these stocks are doing pretty hot today. You know, JP Morgan's the only one I see really running up. If you guys see any stocks running with any momentum to the upside or the downside, let me know in the comments. You know, there's lots of stocks that are kind of falling back off here. I see Peloton is down another 7%. Man, is Peloton, man, they are getting brutal. They're almost back down to that all-time low again. They are, man, they are getting hit today pretty hard, guys. I noticed Snapchat was another one down like 4%, approaching lows again. Rivian's down. DraftKings is slowly moving back into the red. Looks like Asana is down 3.5%. Yeah, it looks like these poor, I guess you could say, growth stocks are coming right back down, guys. That is not good to see today. I know we've been definitely waiting for a nice pop out of these growth plays, but it looks like they are pulling back again. Asana is right down around $20 again. So, hey, you know, if you guys are still looking for some nice longer-term pickups here, you know, these growth plays are still at low levels. It's just, you know, if the market keeps falling for the next however long, you know, 3 months or whatever it is, who knows how much further these stocks are going to keep falling down. I mean, you know, like we keep talking about, some of these plays like Apple and stuff are still overvalued in ways. So, you know, it's pretty crazy to see. Even like good old Tesla, good old Tessie for everyone from the Discord. I love calling it Tessie, but look at this. I mean, no one ever thought they'd be below 700 now, especially back when it was like at $1,000. You know, everyone was thinking Tesla would be right back up to $2,500, but you know, we're back down to 664. You know, the market is going through a rate hike cycle, and you know, the feds are trying to combat that inflation. So we'll have to see what happens over the next few months, but I have a feeling it can still get even worse. You know, I know a lot of people are sitting here thinking, can it really even get worse? But I think there could be a possibility of it getting worse, guys. You know, the market is pretty crazy, and as we know, you know, rates and everything like that going up are gonna definitely damper some of the movement that we've seen over the past couple years. You know, we had interest rates at like 0% for 2 years almost. Like, that's like, guys, that is just it's kind of mind-blowing. You know, they didn't start raising them until the inflation hit like 7%. We were talking about it over the weekend. It was kind of insane. You know, they took so long. They just kept touting transitory, and finally it came back to bite them. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but there's that TNX. You know, you can really see the TNX ever since COVID. I mean, it's been insane back to the upside. So, yeah, insane with that. I know we mentioned the dollar too earlier in the stream. That's been insane back to the upside ever since COVID as well. So it's been insane. Let's see. Peter says Shop's getting clapped. Shopify. Oh no, not them again. I know last week with earnings was tough. Let's see. Shopify, intraday. Yeah, they are. They were definitely getting clapped. They do have some green candles coming back now, but yeah, definitely down in the red, under 1% now, and continuing to have some lackluster movement on that daily chart there. Kind of looks like Asana. You know, it looks like Asana, DraftKings, and a lot of those other stocks here on the watch list. But I just wanted to say, if you guys haven't liked the stream yet, please consider hitting that like button. Of course, it always helps out the channel and everything like that. You know, still looking to get some cool stuff going, but yeah, just hit that like button if you guys are liking the stream this morning. So far, you know, lots of stocks are moving. Raymond puts the money face on there. Raymond, you making some money this morning? You know, it looks like you're putting those dollar signs out there. Hopefully we're raking in those profits today. You know, it's been awesome. If you guys are trading any stocks, just let me know in the comments what you're trading, and I'll take a look at that. You know, it's always cool to sometimes follow some positions and stuff like that. Let's see good old DraftKings today, though, because I noticed it's been slowly upticking here, and it looks pretty nice, actually, I will say. DraftKings has been consolidating a lot here, right around, there's actually a bit of a range going on, right around 1330 up to 1450. You can see there's been a lot of movement over the past couple weeks within that range, and it actually looks pretty good, I'll say. You know, DraftKings is looking hot. That's just another reason to hit the like button, guys. It's always easy to, you know, like things whenever DraftKings is in the green. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take DraftKings being in the green on a day where poor Asana, you know, was selling off at open and they're down in the red. You know, lots of growth stocks were down, so I'm definitely happy with that green movement with DraftKings. I'll 100% take that all day. And yeah, it's looking pretty hot here. I will say, if DraftKings keeps popping, and maybe if we keep up with this momentum and we start breaking above like 1450 and then 1466 up there, I think DraftKings could possibly go on a pretty good run today. I don't know about you guys, but it's setting up pretty good. It's been consolidating, and if it breaks that resistance there, I think it could have a pretty good shot to really start maybe breaking out a little bit more. So hopefully we see that. But while DraftKings is moving pretty well, some stocks are a little bit unchanged today. Like ChargePoint is like right around even. It fell off at open, but now it's like at 0% on the day here. We have Oxy or some of these oil plays actually not moving too much either. They're only up 0.25%. We usually see more volatility out of these oil plays, especially lately. So I don't know. Zom's holding up pretty well though. It's just Oxy's kind of selling back down. Looks like CVX is popping up, which is good. I will say, guys, I cannot believe the price of gas here. I just paid $5.19 a gallon yesterday for gas. I couldn't believe it. I paid and I looked at it and I wanted to put one of those stickers on the pump. Like the Biden did that stickers. Man, it's insane. I see those on every single gas pump I go to, guys. It's kind of insane, but whenever gas is that high, I guess somebody has to get blamed for it. So I guess they're blaming him, but either way, it's funny though. I see those stickers everywhere, but Oxy's not doing too much today, guys. It's like right around $63 a share. Looks like it's trying to pop up a little bit today, like as of right now over the past 2 minutes. It has some green momentum here, but we'll have to see if it can keep going or not, because if not, it kind of looks like it might start selling off. I will say I was kind of ready last week. Oxy was really exploding midweek up to $68, $69 there. I was kind of thinking in my head like, wow, this one's getting explosive, but then we pulled right back down. And like, look at this chart setup here, like with Oxy. This is just so much volatility here, guys. Like, it started to sell off a little bit, kind of faked out, exploded right back up, faked out again. Now who knows what's going to happen. Hopefully it keeps going back up. We're kind of sitting on that trend line again, so who knows? Maybe we'll see a nice move this week with Oxy. I'll definitely take it if it happens. I'll take any green movement right now is okay in my book. But yeah, some of these commodity plays like X and stuff like that are getting here. Let's see. Hunter says or Peter says, don't let Hunter hear you talk about high gas prices. LOL. Yeah, Hunter's always posting his gas prices in the chat there, and man, whenever gas was sitting at like $4.60 here, and he said gas at where he was like $5.20 or something, and now my gas is $5.20. So who knows what his is at now? Probably like $6 or something insane. Hunter says he saw a ChargePoint station yesterday for the first time in his life. That's actually pretty cool, Hunter. I will say I haven't seen an exact ChargePoint one. I've seen a couple off-brand chargers. Maybe it was like a Blink charger or something, but I've mostly just seen the Tesla chargers and then a couple other chargers. But yeah, the main ones though are those Tesla ones that I've seen. So that's pretty cool. You saw a ChargePoint one. You know what that means, Hunter? Since you saw one, that means it's time to go all in. No matter what the company has or no matter what their fundamentals are, since you saw the charging station, that means that their stock is going to explode, right? I know that's how everyone usually thinks. It's pretty funny, but yeah, hopefully ChargePoint does well. Just for the record, guys, that was a joke. If you didn't get it, we're definitely not doing that. Let's see. Hunter says it hit $5 for regular. Yeah, that is, wow, $5 for regular. That's quite a bit, Hunter. I'll say that's bad. I was paying $5.20 for premium, so that's insane. $5 for regular. Yeah, that's brutal. I know, like here it's like $4.99 or almost $5 for regular. Yeah, Hunter says he's gonna put his life savings in ChargePoint since he saw it. Yeah. Hey, I mean, who knows? That would be funny. But man, I met an Uber driver one time, Hunter, and I was talking to him, and he told me he put his life savings into Neo, at like 27th, almost $30 a share. And poor Neo here kept falling off. And I don't think he picked a terrible time. You know, he got in like whenever a lot of us were getting DraftKings and stocks like that, like at the beginning of the year. But man, I heard him tell me that, and in my head I was like, man, if this guy's buying Neo, I better short it. And then it ended up actually going down, and I was like, whoa. Hunter goes, I think I also saw a Nikola truck rolling down a hill too. that is hilarious. Good old Nikola rolling down the hill. I can't believe they did that, Hunter. That was terrible. I cannot believe they got away with it too. You know, like I know that the CEO or somebody obviously got in trouble for it for a little while, but man, I don't believe anyone got in that bad of trouble, to be honest. I think it could have been, you know, they could have had a worse slap on the wrist than they had. I mean, I think they got off pretty easy with that one. But as we can see, Nikola's stock started really falling off when that they started falling off a hill when their truck did. So kind of like they called their own fate there by pushing that truck down. But that is funny. I still can't believe they did that, Hunter, with the Nikola truck situation. That's crazy. If you guys haven't heard about that, Nikola, when their company was starting, and if you guys haven't heard about this, you definitely should know. So definitely pay attention here. You know, Nikola, they pushed a truck down a big hill, and they didn't even have an electric motor in it. And they were kind of putting it out there like, look at this awesome truck we developed. You know, it has this electric motor, and, you know, it goes this range and this and that and this and that. But it was just a truck rolling down a hill. But they made it look so cool with their animations and everything like that it, you know, it was actually looking kind of neat. I'll actually try to pull it up really quick. Hang on 1 second, guys. I'll pull up a little example here of that Nikola truck going down the hill, because it was pretty telling there. Pretty telling, guys. Let's get on that intraday chart. Maybe see some price action of maybe Nikola, you know, falling down here. Wow. Yeah, I cannot believe that this really happened here. Let's see. Wow, a lot of these videos actually got taken off the internet, believe it or not, guys. The only thing I'm seeing showing it are like a Russian website or something like that. But yeah, hell, I'll get a picture of the truck here going down the hill, because it was definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. Wow, of course now all I see is Nikola's semi truck coming up, you know, when I look it up. Nikola fake truck going down a hill, I guess I should say. Seems like they're trying to like cover up the news, guys. Like whenever I look up the Nikola situation, all that comes up for me is like Nikola's semi trucks. Like, you know, that was like a pickup truck they were doing that with. So I don't know. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here's the good article. Let's see. Here it is. I think this is the video. Maybe it was a semi truck, guys. It's been a long time since this happened. It's been actually like almost like 2 or 3 years at this point. Yeah, here we go. They admitted a promotional video on YouTube shows its hydrogen-powered lorry rolling downhill rather than moving on its own power. So, yeah, I mean, it was hilarious, guys. Like, the truck was just rolling down a hill. Yeah, here's their other electric pickup truck that I thought was going down there. But that was hilarious whenever that happened, guys. And I just cannot believe that happened there. Wow, and it looks like even Hindenburg was, you know, putting out a response to this 2,700 word response, apparently, which is insane. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. They called the Hindenburg research and said it was false inflammatory. So that is funny. I can't believe Nikola got into all that stuff right there. Let's see. Yeah, Hunter. Oh my gosh, Nikola has a $1.9 million in revenue last quarter. Like, what in the world, man? Like 1.9 million. I mean, I know some small businesses by me that, you know, do more in revenue in a month than that. That's pretty crazy. Let's see. Hunter goes, my watch list went from almost all green to half red in like 12 seconds. Yeah, that SPY is turning over here, unfortunately. That sucks to see. Let's see some of these other plays. Yeah, DraftKings, unfortunately, is down now. Seems like some of the banks are holding up, like Bank of America and JP Morgan are holding up in an okay way, but yeah, lots of stocks are now falling off into the red. Like For example, Qualcomm is moving down. We have PayPal in the red by quite a bit. Disney's starting to turn over. Good old Facebook is down. Starbucks also in the red. Let's see what else we got here. FSLR. Yeah, really falling off now. Twitter. Yeah, and some of these stocks were doing pretty good at market open. Not all of them. Like Twitter's been kind of down today. Sana's been pretty much in the red today as well. But yeah, I can't believe some of these bigger plays again, like Target are pulling back. American Airlines is now in the red after having a pretty good pop at market open, actually. So yeah, awesome call there, Hunter. These stocks are starting to really turn around in a pretty big way, which is unfortunate to see there. Yeah, Peter says the SPY is starting to push lower, about flat on the day. Square says good morning. Yeah, good morning, Square. Thanks for joining up today. Always glad to see you here at the live stream. But yeah, these stocks are getting brutal here today, guys. I can't believe how much they're starting to fall off. I mean, it's pretty rough here today. It was looking kind of hot. Now they're all turning back around, and yeah, I'd hate to see that. Yeah, Hunter says Nikola has a $2.5 billion market cap. Yeah, definitely nothing too big there. That's pretty low, actually, for a stock like that. I will say 2.5 billion is quite a bit. I will say I should reword that. 2.5 billion is quite a high market cap for only bringing in 1.9 million. But compared to like Tesla and stuff, of course, Tesla's market cap is just insane. But then again, Tesla does actually produce some vehicles, and they actually do some stuff, so that's good. But yeah, $1.9 million in revenue. That is, I mean, like I said, I know small businesses that do 1.9 million in revenue, so that's pretty insane there. But yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, guys, if you guys haven't yet. We just passed 9 a.m. so far. Stocks are starting to pull back down a little bit here. I always appreciate those likes, and who knows? DraftKings was holding up in the green. It's now red, so it has been a little bit lackluster, so far today in the movement, to say the least. But I will say some stocks are still up, like the banks, and some of these credit cards like Visa are still holding up okay. They are coming down short term, of course, but so far this morning they are some of the stocks in the market that have been doing better than others. I'm noticing Coca-Cola has actually done decent, and poor Coke here has been really selling off. Like they were exploding for a little while, and now they're starting to pull back. I know it's interesting. You look at the valuations of even stocks like Coke and Walmart and stocks like that, and even those stocks are overvalued. People always think, hey, those stocks are nice and safe and they're slow and steady, but man, I mean, Coke's had some volatility here, guys. Like, look at this big dip Coke had recently. We touched a nice support down around like $58. Then we ran up 16% over the course of 2 months, and then came flying right back to the downside, and now we're actually going to end up negative on Coke here. Now we're down like 10% from that high. So it's definitely been a little bit volatile. It's been having nice 15% monthly swings. So it's been moving a little bit for a nice slow steady stock, but the main thing is, these stocks are still a little bit overvalued. It was pretty insane. I didn't even realize that stocks like Walmart and stocks like that were really overvalued. And you look on this daily chart and you think, hey, it was consolidating for a year straight, but those numbers were still pretty high, and they ended up really falling off there. So pretty insane to see. But yeah, Walmart even, I can't believe how low this is getting on the daily chart, guys. Like, this is this is insane to see Walmart down around 120. It doesn't totally blow my mind, but with the way it went down does, it just had these two big huge gaps with their earnings, and it was brutal there for a couple days with Walmart's earnings, Target's earnings, and yeah, it was a brutal week in the stock market, guys. That was insane as those stocks were flying down. But yeah, if you guys want me to cover any other plays, just let me know in those comments, and we will check out whatever stocks you guys put in the comments. And even if it's little penny stocks and stuff, I'll still check them out. They might not be my favorite, but I'll always look at them. If they're having good movement, of course. It's always cool to see stocks running. So that could be cool. I know like I said, penny stocks aren't my favorite because they're extremely risky and they're hard to trade. But sometimes they're fun. I'm noticing though still some of these commodity plays like X looks like they're still pulling back a little bit. I'm curious to see how those oil plays are doing. Yeah, or even oil's pulling back, guys. Like CVX and Oxy are starting to fall off into the red, which is not good to see. I hate to see that actually. I hope the oil plays just keep moving up just so we can have something positive to trade over the next few weeks. That would be it could be fun, if oil keeps breaking out. It could make for a lot of interesting day trades and stuff like that. So I would take it, and it's definitely better than going down all the time. That's for sure. Man, poor Rivian here. I know we talked a lot about Nikola a little while ago, but look at Rivian. I mean, even poor Rivian here is down 7% today. This is definitely bad to see for them. I'm sorry to say this, Vicky, but Fubo is down 6% again. They're actually under $3 now again. So yeah, be careful with Fubo out there. It's getting low, and it just keeps getting lower and lower. It's not holding up at all, actually. It's having a pretty rough day here with Fubo. So yeah, be a little wary with some of these stocks, guys. They are starting to really break down. Like poor Fubo below 3. I mean, who knows how much lower this one's gonna run over the next couple weeks. Same thing with Asana. Some of these growth plays are starting to just get really low again. So just be on the lookout in case they start flying down below, some big supports and stuff. It might make for some extreme volatility coming in. Square says Zoom after earnings, beat or miss. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. They report earnings tonight, actually. Let me see if I have it up here. Hang on. Let me get the earnings chart here really quick. I had it up, actually, before the stream, but I clicked off of it. I believe I clicked off of it whenever we went to Nikola, so give me 1 second here, and we will get the post up from Earnings Whispers, of course. Earnings Whispers is awesome, guys. If you guys have never seen them, go check them out on Facebook and even their website at earningswhispers.com. You can type in whatever stock you want, and it'll come up there and be amazing, which is great. But yeah, this week we have some pretty big ones. So today before open, we had XPEV report, of course, which I did cover right at the beginning of the stream. But XPEV was down slightly this morning. I didn't really look too much at the numbers though. But look at this, guys. We have Zoom reporting tonight, of course. Kind of like how Square asked. They said Zoom earnings. Do you think that they'll beat or will they miss? And yeah, so they're going to be reporting tonight. It's going to be a tough one. I will say personally, I think that Zoom might end up beating, but just keep in mind, Square, it's going to be very tough for Zoom because even if they beat on revenue numbers and stuff like that, the main thing with Zoom is going to be those subscriber numbers. And I also know that whenever Zoom does their earnings, they look a lot, obviously, at monthly active users and stuff, but they also look at subscribers, for example, who are worth more than 100K or who do more than 100K in revenue with Zoom. I know that they've been talking a lot about those bigger accounts. So keep that in mind too. Of course, a big company might pay Zoom, a lot of money per month because they might use, Zoom a ton, or something like that. So just keep in mind, Zoom has a lot of numbers that will come out. Of course, the revenue and stuff is going to be huge for them too. But lately, a lot of the outlooks and stuff also are coming into play. So, there's a lot of numbers. Personally, I think they might finally beat on earnings. Zoom is getting so low. I hope that they can come up, but it's been brutal for them, guys. So I hope they have good numbers, but it's going to be very tough. And, just flip a coin. Honestly, it's like betting on red or black right now with these earnings. It's kind of insane. Hunter goes, I know someone who works for Rivian and they have the truck. Had to have somebody from Rivian come fix it twice, and it doesn't even have 500 miles on it. That is pretty insane, Hunter. That is pretty bad if they already had to have 2 repairs and it doesn't even have 500 miles on it. That is rough. It also depends on what the repairs are, of course, but if it was something that straight up broke, then yeah, that's terrible. I know sometimes Tesla, you'll get a Tesla from the factory and it might have some scratches or some like minor defects on it. I know that they've said that the build quality can be a little bit low, so it's pretty insane. And Hunter also said that they didn't have anyone able to fix it in the state, so they had to send somebody from a different state to fix it twice. So yeah, that's terrible, Hunter. I've heard of these new companies having issues like that, like Rivian, even Tesla has issues, getting the cars repaired. Like, and I know a lot of people who live really far away from, for example, like a Tesla location, and sometimes they'll have to have their car like shipped there and all types of stuff. So yeah, that's crazy, Hunter. And I couldn't even imagine like a Rivian or a Lucid or something like that. Like like what would you even do if it broke? Like you said, I guess you gotta send somebody to come fix it, but yeah, you need something figured out, because these mechanics and stuff, they're not used to working on cars like Rivians and Teslas, like a mechanical engine is so in depth with like how it works, and I'm sure these electric motors are even worse. So I'm sure it's crazy, but again, a lot of things with cars, it's kind of like computers. You just take the parts out and you put the new ones in. It's just, it's obviously sometimes very, very difficult to get those things going. I recently actually fixed a screen on a 2016 Ford Fusion, replaced the touchscreen on there, and it was pretty easy actually, I'll say. And I've done some car work in the past, and it's not bad, but I couldn't imagine working on one of these electric cars. That would be something else, guys. Working on those. Let's see, Peter's saying the main thing with Zoom. The main thing with Zoom is Kathy Woods bought it, so that means it's got that Kathy curse. Yeah, she's been buying it up a lot, Peter. I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, Hunter, but Kathy Wood was buying up Zoom around like 500 or 588 or something like that. I think she bought it like at the tippy top. I can't remember the exact thing with it, but somewhere like right around the top she bought in, and it ended up being kind of crazy because she literally called the top. Although she didn't mean to, obviously, but that's what ended up happening there. Square says, SPY trying to bounce the pre-market lows. Let's see. Good old SPY. Down around pre-market lows. Let's go check that out. Yeah, it is. That pre-market low is right around 391, and we were right around there, and now we're kind of popping back. So who knows? Maybe the SPY will start popping back up, Square. Like you said, it does seem like it's kind of bouncing there, so that would be nice. I think they're having some pretty big support around 390 as well. So it looks like some support is also here on SPY, Square. So that's awesome. Santi says, "Morning, Tom. How's your morning going?" Yeah, it's going awesome. Thanks so much, Santi, for the question. It's going pretty good actually, I will say. Last night I was watching some basketball. We had the Mavericks playing last night, so I was able to get my nice weekend sports action going. So woke up bright and early today. Yeah, it's not too bad, Santi. I will say the market has been a little bit lackluster today. I would prefer, DraftKings to be up in the green and some stocks like that. But so far, the morning's going pretty good. Pretty good. Thanks for asking. How's yours going? Hopefully it's going pretty good. And yeah, hopefully everyone's having a great morning, especially in the stock market. I hope you guys are out here killing it today, having some nice profits. I know, Peter, what were you in earlier? JWN, was it? Let's see. It looks like, yeah, JWN might be trying to pop back up here. I'm not sure which way they're going to move, but it's definitely consolidating a lot. So kind of looks like it's coiling for a big move one way or the other, Peter. So hopefully it moves up for you. But yeah, thanks for the question, Santi. I appreciate you. Mike says HNST. Let's check that one out. I haven't seen Honest in a long time. Let's see here. Yeah, $3.12. It's called the Honest Company. They better be honest. Like if they ever lie, that would be kind of insane, given their name. But that is a very low price stock here, Mike. I can't believe it's all the way down to $3. That is rough. Hunter says, well, Kathy Woods also said GDP could be 50% in a few years. It's like every day she wakes up and tries to say something dumber than the day before. Yeah, it definitely does. That is funny, Hunter. I couldn't believe I even read that. I was like, 50% GDP, like, man, I get that might be possible in some very weird scenario, but man, I could never see that. That would be insane growth. I mean, yeah, I don't even know Hunter anymore. Like, I don't know what's up with her. Like, does she take some weird medication or like what goes on? Because you're right. Every time she says something even crazier. Wow, that is insane. Mike says, "How far down do you think cost will drop?" Let's see. Good old Costco. Let's see. I actually like Costco. It's actually not too bad. I would love to pick some Costco up at a great price. I just don't know where the great price is. We'll have to see over the next couple months how Costco moves. Um, but as far as how far do I think it'll drop, I think Costco could have a pretty good chance to possibly fall down like this 350 support. I think that's doable. You know, just keep in mind Costco has killed it, guys. Like straight up killed it over the past few years. Like if we go to the beginning of 2018 up to now with Costco, Costco is still up like 138%. Now I know it's been a few years, so like over 3 or 4 years they're up 140%, which is still pretty big. And if we go to the high here, it was up like 250% almost at the all-time high. So, you know, Costco has been having some huge moves. So keep in mind that as it goes down, I think it's just normal price action. I hope $400 holds up as a big support, Mike. Personally, if I wanted Costco really, really bad, I would probably either short a put at $400 or short a put at $350, maybe for like a month or two out, and then maybe see how it moves then. And then if Costco continues to fall, maybe I will average in and grab more shares. Or I'll just average in the shares here if you don't want to do 100 shares of this, because, you know, I do understand 100 shares of Costco is going to be like 40 grand. So I understand that might not be doable for a lot of people. But, you know, you could always just short, or you could always just grab a few shares around $400, and then, you know, if the stock keeps falling, then you can just slowly average in. I think that would be a good way to go, Mike. Like I said, personally, I think 350. We could fall to that if we do fall below 400. So we'll have to see what happens. But I think 350 is doable. But, you know, just keep in mind, Mike, I am just throwing out hypotheticals here. Keep in mind that these are not, you know, for example, this is not like any like super solid data or anything like that. I'm just looking at price action and how the stock's been moving over the past few years to kind of formulate, you know, hey, we might be able to touch that 350 support that, you know, the stock has bounced off of quite a few times. So just keep that in mind. You know, always take, you know, what people say with a grain of salt, Mike. You know, of course, nobody can call the exact bottom on these stocks. Square says, AZO before open tomorrow with earnings. Will all this supply and demand affect them to struggle, or will they strive with good old AZO? You know, I'm not sure with good old AutoZone. I would think, Square, that the supply and demand might make them fall off. And I will also say that AutoZone kind of reminds me of like a Walmart or like a Costco. It's almost like a Costco. Actually, look at the chart. It's actually very, very similar, guys. Like, I want you to put this up here because this is actually a very similar setup on the chart. And in my opinion, I think AutoZone could definitely start to fall off here. And it's going to take some pretty good earnings, I think, to keep the stock up. So I do think that AutoZone has been doing great the past couple years, but I do also think that it might finally be time for some pullbacks with AutoZone. So we'll see what happens. It has been pulling back, and, you know, with the way these retail earnings have been going, I would not be surprised if AutoZone fell off. Like you said, that supply and demand has been really affecting a lot of businesses and just inflation in general. So I'm not sure how AutoZone will do. Obviously, that's a little bit of a weird sector, you know, being the automotive sector and everything like that. But yeah, Square goes, nice and thanks. Short. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, we'll have to short it now. No, that's funny. But be careful with earnings. You know, earnings are always risky. But I feel like it could go down there. But yeah, overall, I wonder how some of these other stocks like FSLR are doing today. Yeah, they're actually not doing too bad. Maybe Enphase. Let's check them out really quick. Yeah, they're actually down a little bit, you know, in the red, like a lot of stocks are, down 1.89%. So definitely moving down now a little bit more. What I did notice, though, guys, is that the banks kept going. I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but Bank of America is moving right back up. JP Morgan is following along. You know, Goldman's coming up, so definitely eye up those banks, guys. They are starting to move up again. And I actually want to point this out with good old JP Morgan because, look, it actually flew up through my trend line. Then we came down, touched the trend line or touched that 121 support, and now we're moving right back up. If we do keep running up like this, I hope JP Morgan has a nice up day because, man, like we're starting to finally break out of this long-term trend, and or I should say the trend line of the past few months. And I feel like that we could have a pretty good chance to pop up here with JP Morgan, especially with all the nice statements and everything that that Jamie Dimon has been giving us here. So yeah, great movement with the banks. And I'll be right back, guys. I have some bad allergies. I will be right back. I gotta blow my nose, but here I'm gonna leave JP Morgan here up on the chart, and you know it looks like it's running up. So let me know in the comments if you guys want me to check out any other stocks. But I will be right back, and hopefully you guys can see some nice breakouts here. All right, I'm back. My apologies, guys. Sorry, these allergies this time of year are rough. I don't know if you guys ever get allergies this time of year or not, but it is insane. You know the way everything's been. And by my house, I don't know about you guys, but I've had some insane storms this weekend too. Like my power was actually out almost 2 whole straight days, so it's pretty rough. We had to throw away a whole bunch of food and stuff like that in our refrigerators and stuff. So of course I had to throw away all my food and go buy more when inflation starts coming at us. You know that of course of course I lose my power as you know all these prices are sky high. But Peter says a lot of companies are saying cost is starting to eat into profits and auto prices are high. Yeah, they really are, Peter. You're definitely right about that one. I think AutoZone will be a pretty crazy stock there. You know, I know like some of these stocks like poor Carvana, like it's been insane. Like look at the way this stock has fallen off. Like this stock was rising in such a big way. I can't believe that they fell off like this. Like it's just insane. Like I remember this stock was booming and it seemed like they were gonna do great, and then they had so many weird things happen, and yeah, they had so many high costs, and you know people sending cars back, and I think they had some weird stuff with loans even and stuff. Like it was Carvana's been having some issues, and that's just another one of those like used car stocks that like were booming and then you know started slowly like coming back off to the downside a little bit. Square says the VIX is bouncing up. Let's see. Good old VIX slash VX, they said, for VIX futures. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's kind of it is kind of getting some volatility actually. Good call there, Square. We'll have to keep that one on the radar today. Maybe good old UVXY or something will be a nice intraday play today, or even SPXS might be a good play if SPY keeps falling off. We'll have to see what SPY does though. You know, SPY was definitely moving lower on Friday, and it kind of came up and was consolidating. So it's in like a bit of a tough spot, but I think it's definitely doable here with SPY. Like I think SPY could end up, popping up a little bit more. It's insane to see the price action with SPY. Like I feel like every time we have a big drop like Friday, it always comes right back up, and then maybe tomorrow will end up falling back off. But either way, it's been having some a lot of up and down movement. I guess you could say just a lot of volatility here over the past couple months, and it's also been like following that little trend line here on the chart down too. Like if we look at the trend line here on SPY, it's actually been touching it almost directly. If we look at the 180-day 4-hour chart, you can see the trend line really clearly here. So here's where it started, up on, it looks like April 21st. We touched the trend again, at the beginning of the day on May 5th, and then we touched it again last week on, it looks like the main move down off that trend line was May 18th of last week. So we've definitely been moving on that trend quite a bit, and I'm curious to see if we'll be able to finally break out above that or not, especially since we bounced at this 380 support. Like if the SPY and we do start to see some stocks like Apple and Tesla and Microsoft and stocks like that, if they keep coming up, then I think SPY has a good chance to come up this week if the stocks move, of course. But yeah, Apple's trying to pop. I mean, it's up 1.5%. Actually, the setup's not too bad. I know we talked about this one a little bit earlier, and yeah, it's not too bad today. Actually, I'll take it with Apple. It's not bad at all. Actually, it's a pretty good move for something like Apple. Yeah, it's not bad at all. If you guys are liking some of the movement here with Apple, maybe you could go, maybe have a nice day trade on Apple, or maybe Bank of America or some of the banks. I know that some of these stocks are starting to move. Like look at Bank of America now up 5.6%. It just keeps breaking out. Like how is it moving like this? Like JP Morgan was the company coming out today with the good news, but hey, I'll take it if any of the stocks want to move. But that is funny. Let's see. It looks like Bank of America has some of their own news coming across the Thinkorswim news tab here. It says they raised their minimum hourly wage to $22 in the United States. So that's pretty big. I mean, it looks like it was $20 in 2020. Then in October they raised it to $21. Now they raised it to $22. So that's pretty big. Yeah, look at this. They're increasing the annual salary to more than 45 grand, which that's pretty good. So wow, pretty crazy to see JP Morgan popping up. I'm surprised that Bank of America is running that much since they raised the minimum wage, but I know that's not gonna, like $1, $1 extra of minimum wage isn't gonna help or hurt their company too much. So yeah, but hopefully they get more workers and stuff. Obviously, that's not bad. $22 an hour. It's definitely not too bad. And I know that there's been a lot of people saying that the workforce has had like a big shortage of workers lately. Like everyone wants to stay home and nobody really wants to go back out and work. So I don't know, but I know that's been playing a role. So maybe them increasing that minimum wage will help entice more workers to come in, or at least better workers, at minimum. So yeah, pretty good though. Interesting news from the banks, to say the least. Just another piece of interesting news there. Let's see. We have Peter saying the Dow, or DJI, I'm starting to not like its movement right now. Has too much room to drop, and it's not really building a support. Let's check it out. $DJI, the Dow Jones Index. Let's see it on that daily chart. Wow. I think my Thinkorswim just had a spasm, but now it's okay. No, it's because I went to the max daily chart. Here, I'll do it again, actually. See, if you go to the yearly, it's okay. But if you go to the max daily, it's trying to load in all the data, so it goes crazy. But yeah, it definitely looks like, Peter, it could keep going down. It looks like it keeps falling off here. It's trying to pop up today, but I see what you're saying. Looking at the daily chart, I could see some more downwards movement too. I will say though, in the short term, the Dow has gotten pretty low. I feel like we could have a bit of a short-term uptrend, maybe come up and maybe retest 34,000, or maybe 33,000 or something like that. I think is possible, but yeah, I definitely see more downwards movement over the next month or something like that too, Peter. I think it's possible. Let's see. He says very low volume in the markets right now, and it's only 10:30 a.m. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm not too sure about the volume right now. Um, but yeah, if it is lower than normal, that's definitely not good. That's kind of weird, actually. You would think that with all the crazy movement, there might be an uptick in volume, but either way, it's the market's been pretty flat today, so maybe that's kind of attributing to the flat movement there, Peter. George says T is about to break an important level. Is it? Let's go check that out. T. Wow, it is, George. Yeah, it's breaking out above like $20.50, breaking these resistances of last week, and yeah, it's having a pretty nice run up here today. So good call out, actually, George. I'll take that with AT&T. They've been getting destroyed over the past couple months, and the way that they're starting to run up now is actually pretty good. I will say, like, I like this setup, George. It looks pretty bullish to me. So yeah, I don't know if you're looking to play this one anytime soon. And of course, short term, anything can happen. But I will say I've liked AT&T for the longer term now for a while, and I feel like they can still do pretty well. And you're right, I love the way they're breaking out here, and I also love how they're confirming off of $20 on their way up. I think that makes for some great price action, and that just boosts my confidence in the stock even more. I believe AT&T did have some good news recently too. Here, I'm going to look that up really quickly. But yeah, I know that there was something pretty good. Like, I don't know if they re-upped their dividend or what they did exactly, but I'll find it out here. Hang on, because I know that that was some pretty big news. Maybe they brought their dividend back, or they started to up it again, or I can't remember exactly what it was though. Right now, they're talking actually about doing some tender offers, so that's interesting. I can't believe they're doing that. Let's see here. Tender offers. It seems like that's the main thing going on right now with AT&T, but I know that there was some stuff a few months ago about 5G becoming more implemented, and I feel like that could really help some of these companies like AT&T, Verizon, and other companies like that. So let me look at a T5G news. Let's see. Any big updates with 5G? Because I know that they were trying to get 5G rolling out, and the government was asking companies actually not to roll it out, but for some reason, you know, the companies still wanted to, of course. So I'm gonna find this article for you guys really quick here. Let's see. AT&T 5G rollout, government intervention, because it was kind of funny, you know, the way that the government intervened with AT&T was pretty funny here. So let's see. Here is the article up here for you guys, right here. 5G rollout expected to continue after 2-week delay. It was at the beginning of the year this year. So yeah, 2 wireless carriers were set to expand their 5G services back on January 5th, but airlines pushed back and requested government intervention because they were saying that the 5G waves would somehow interfere with I guess some of the stuff on airplanes, like some of their instruments or whatever it is. But it was AT&T and Verizon doing the rollouts at the time. I didn't realize that was all the way back on January 19th, but I definitely remember that being pretty big because people were saying, look, they're finally rolling out 5G. And everybody's like, well, how are they rolling out 5G? My phone says 5G right now. And the thing is that 5G isn't really, like, the 5G that you see on your phone now isn't quite really, like, real 5G. You know, like, it's not quite as, you know, not quite as quick. You know, everything about it isn't quite as, like, strong, you know. But the real 5G was starting to get rolled out there at the beginning of this year. And seriously, a lot of people were like, what? How? I already have 5G. But really, it's like 5GE, you know, or something like that. And only some select cities have the true 5G. So keep that in mind. But looks like they are rolling it out a lot more. And a lot of people said that that could help the companies. And that was on like January 1st. So let's see where... Yeah, so you can kind of see like right around the beginning of the year, right around January 1st, AT&T started having some pretty big pops back to the upside. They broke out from like $19 and ran up to like $20.74, which, you know, that's not a huge pop, but, you know, AT&T is a slow mover, so a nice 9% increase for them is actually pretty big. But Yeah, I just wanted to point that out because a lot of people have said that since they rolled out 5G, they might start actually profiting from it now. So who knows? That would definitely be awesome. But thank you guys so much for joining up today. Of course, I appreciate all the nice comments and everything. Thank you, Santi, for joining. Square, Peter, Hunter, of course. Mike, Raymond, J Deep, Bill, Vicky, Jamie, um, Lewis. Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you. Hopefully, some of these stocks keep pumping up today. You know, AT&T's hot. Some of those bank stocks like Bank of America were doing extremely well. Like, look at their chart. They are really running up. But yeah, these bank plays are looking pretty good here. JP Morgan is moving up in a pretty big way too. They're actually breaking out now as well. So far today, we're having some great movement out of some stocks. Hopefully, you guys keep winning today. Keep bringing in those profits. If you do, don't forget to post them in the profits section on the Discord. That'll definitely be awesome to see if you guys do end up winning on some. But yeah, good luck, and hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day.